Okay, let's start with Launchpad McQuack.
That's not the actual title of the
We
song.
are Sex Boom! 1, 2, 3, 4! Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness. If I would have stayed up with you all night, and I know how to save a life. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend.
What? I mean, there's no anime series. I had to improvise. Hey guys, welcome to my review for Solanin. Solanin is a seinen slice of life series written and illustrated by Inio Asano, and it was serialized between 2005 and 2006 in Weekly Young Sunday. Now, for the longest time, people have been recommending that I check out Inio Asano's manga, and if you remember, not too long ago, I did read and review A Girl on the Shore, which probably not the best place to start. Didn't leave me with that great of an impression on his work, but I kept faith and I decided to read Solanin, which is one of, if not his most famous works. Now, like A Girl on the Shore, this is a very short series, being only 2 volumes, and jumping into it, I really wasn't sure what to expect at all. But now, after reading it, I think I can safely say that I now finally understand why Inio Asano was such a big deal. Solanin takes place in modern-day Japan and follows a young woman named Meiko Inoue. She lives in an apartment with her boyfriend Taneda. They are both 2 years out of college. Meiko works at an office, earning just enough to pay her rent, while Taneda works as an illustrator, making even less money. They have no goals, no direction, and they have no idea what to do with their lives. The one thing that Meiko does know, though, is that she is unhappy, so despite what it could do to her relationship with Taneda, or to their livelihoods, she decides to quit her job. Unfortunately though, her newfound freedom leaves her even more directionless than before. And with time and money running out, she decides to convince Taneda to start up his old band. The band he had with his college friends, who the two of them are still very close with and try to hang out with whenever they have the time. And their hope is that, even if this band doesn't go anywhere, it will just add more passion and more meaning into their lives. And man, this manga series was quite the experience. The whole time, it didn't feel like a normal story because it really isn't a normal story. It didn't feel like I was reading something that was made up in someone's head, okay? It felt like I was watching a real-life event as it unfolded. Not like shit that's based on the true story where they have dramatized moments, but as if these were real people with real lives and real struggles. Oftentimes, in even the most serious manga, things are exaggerated, things are dramatized, but not here. This is about as real as a fictional manga series can get. Now, I won't talk anymore about the plot because it is a very short series. I don't want to spoil anything. But I will say that this is not a happy series. Tragedy does strike about halfway through the series, and then we are left seeing how these characters react and learn to live with it. And it's not very pleasant, because like I said, this manga feels so real, and it really feels like that this was a real experience that these characters were going through. And that really goes for everything that the characters in this manga deal with. Nearly everything that happens in this series, people will end up experiencing some way during their lives. Whether it's having a shitty job, being down on your luck, dealing with loss, dealing with your parents and relationships. It's one of the most genuinely realistic stories I have ever read. And to be quite honest, it's amazing. And it all comes down to Inio Asano's writing. It's phenomenal. There's no real climax to this story, not a crazy conclusion like you would usually expect, but I don't really think it matters for this type of story. It was expertly written, very gripping and enticing read, even if it wasn't always the easiest thing to read. I really have absolutely no complaints here. Now, as for the characters, there's really not much to say. I mean, it's a short story. There aren't very many characters to begin with, but like I said before, they just all feel like real people. There really is nothing special about these characters. In the afterword of the book, Inio Asano says, these are just random people. They could just blend into the backdrop of any city and no one would even know they existed. And that's what's so special about Solanin. This is the story of these people that you don't usually think about. People with no goal in life, with boring lives, working boring jobs. And it was just such a fascinating look into the lives of these characters. Meiko and Taneda's relationship was extremely beloved believable. At the start of the series, they've actually been together for 6 years, and you could just tell they were super comfortable with each other. They knew everything about each other. It just felt so real and genuine. Same goes for their relationship with their friends. And most importantly, what makes these characters so realistic is that they have flaws, just like anyone. No one is perfect, and this manga is a very strong reminder of that. So let's lighten the mood. This is probably where I'm going to be in 5 years. I really don't want to talk about that anymore. And let's talk about the artwork, which is absolutely phenomenal. Now, I was expecting good artwork. One of the best parts of A Girl on the Shore, one of the only best parts to be honest, was its artwork, because it looked pretty much photorealistic. Kinda wish it didn't though, but you know, whatever. But you see, the thing about A Girl on the Shore was that it was a bi-monthly manga series. Okay, that means Inio Asano had 2 whole months, 60 days, to work on a single chapter. So if you give a skilled manga artist that much time, it's gonna look amazing no matter what.
All around me are familiar faces.
But Solanin is a weekly series, and it is some of the best art I have ever seen in a weekly series. It's so detailed, very, very realistic. He does a very good job conveying emotions, which is such an important thing for a series like this. I usually think that in slice of life series, having amazing artwork is never really a big requirement. But here I really think that the art adds something to the story. It just adds to the realism, makes everything more genuine, and I have absolutely no complaints about it. So those are my thoughts on Solanin, and I have to say it blew me away. This isn't the type of series that I go out of my way to read. I mean, if it was, I probably would have read it 2 years ago. But this series really represents some of the best that the entire medium of manga has to offer. And with all that being said, I just cannot recommend it enough, and I give Solanin a 10 out of 10. So that was my review for Solanin, and hopefully after watching this review, you're interested in picking it up. Something that you can do pretty easily, because the 2-in-1 edition of Solanin is available from Viz Media in the Signature Edition, and I have to say the quality of this volume is pretty stellar. The quality of the pages is just excellent. You even have a few color ones in there. And the best part is that it's really cheap. I got this for $16. And you know there was a live action movie, although I'm not going to shit on it this time. I haven't seen it, and unlike pretty much all the other manga I review that have gotten live action movies, I can really see one working for Solanin. So yeah, that does it. Thank you all so much for watching my review of Solanin. You can leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you guys soon for my review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Venture Vale.
Be alive, I am alive, alive, I tell you, mother, I love you, I wanna hold you, I wanna run in the stream, I am alive. Be alive, I am alive, alive, I tell you, mother, bypassing override, hold you, I wanna run in the stream.